Welcome to the supernatural tale of a stranger's grace. Written by Harmony Taylor, presented by Dawn Spire Digital. Each week we uncover mysteries where we'll meet God. May you enjoy this week's episode.
Chapter 3. The memory of the man on the street lingered like a warm ember against the icy grip of guilt tightening around Eleanor's heart. His cerulean gaze, filled with quiet kindness, haunted her as she closed her eyes. His face, with its gentle strength and the glint of a crucifix beneath his worn collar, clung to her like a ghost in the sterile silence of her apartment. Jez. The name had floated into her consciousness like a whisper, resonating deeply within her, stirring a connection she hadn't felt in years. How strange that a simple name could evoke such a powerful sense of familiarity, as if it carried the weight of something sacred. Her thoughts spiraled back to that dreadful day, the screech of tires, the sickening thud. The image of the young boy, eyes wide with terror, played in her mind like a relentless film reel. Eleanor's breath caught as she remembered how she had turned away, paralyzed by fear, unable to face what she had done. The weight of that secret loomed large, entwining with Jez's presence, a duality that flickered painfully in the shadows of her conscience. "I'm not worthy of his kindness," she whispered into her damp tissue. "Not after what I've done." The thought twisted in her gut, shame smothering the small flicker of hope. She opened her eyes to the dim light filtering through the shades, determined to confront her demons. Beyond the pain and regret, she sensed the possibility of redemption, if only she could reach for it. But could Jez, this stranger, be the key to her forgiveness? The idea seemed absurd. Her heart clenched and tears welled up again. The pain was too much. She hobbled to the bathroom. Eleanor's hand trembled as she reached for the orange pill bottle, a lifeline and a tormentor. The cool plastic offered a brief escape from the relentless barrage of guilt. She swallowed 2 pills, then another, her reflection in the bathroom mirror a stranger. The terror in her eyes mirrored the boy's gaze, pleading for reprieve. Later that evening, the setting sun painted her living room in fiery orange and deep purple hues. Eleanor felt an inexplicable pull toward the window, as though the outside world might hold the answers to her tormented soul. The street below, usually a source of detachment, pulsed with life, a sharp contrast to the emptiness that enveloped her. And then she saw him. Jez sat on the steps of the bakery across the street, his head bent over a small brown paper bag. Her heart quickened. His silhouette radiated quiet dignity amidst the chaos of the city. A stray dog approached, its fur matted and ribs visible. "What a bold little guy," she whispered to the glass. "I wish I could be like you." Jez looked up, his features soft as always. He reached out, stroking the dog's tangled fur with gentle fingers. The moment was pure, uncomplicated, a stark contrast to the guilt that weighed heavily on Eleanor. With steady hands, he pulled out a crumpled snack from his bag and offered it to the dog. Its tail wagged and it leaned into him, basking in the warmth of his kindness. Envy knotted in her gut. She craved that purity, that freedom from the web of regrets that ensnared her. "Why can't I do that?" she muttered, turning away from the window, her reflection a pale ghost plagued by shadows. A sudden urge to break free gripped her. She rummaged through a drawer until she found a long-neglected flyer, a support group meeting for those struggling with addiction. And it was tonight. Hope and dread wrestled within her. The thought of attending filled her with fear, but she couldn't keep living like this. "I can't keep doing this," she murmured, inhaling deeply. The weight of the orange bottle pressed against her. She needed to silence the whispers of her past. Eleanor grabbed her coat, the heavy wool offering no warmth against the chill settling in her bones. Gripping her cane like a lifeline, she stepped out into the night, determination spurring her on. The meeting room, tucked away in a church basement, greeted her with dim fluorescent light and an air of paused at the threshold, anxiety pulsing through her veins. The urge to flee surged, but before she could turn away, a warm hand touched her arm. "How are you, dear?" The soft voice belonged to an older woman with kind eyes, her face lined with the wisdom of countless trials. "My name is Olivia, and I'm happy to see you here. What's your name?" "Ellie," she said, shifting uncomfortably. "We're glad you're here, Ellie. We're all here for different reasons. Eleanor met the woman's gaze and felt a flicker of warmth, as if her kindness wrapped around her like a comforting blanket. Heart racing, she followed her into the circle of chairs, surrounded by faces bearing their own burdens. The meeting followed a familiar rhythm, stories shared, battles fought, each voice adding depth to the chorus of understanding. Eleanor sat tense, fidgeting with her fingers, as people spoke of their struggles and triumphs. The air buzzed with empathy. "Hello, my name is Olivia." A young woman leaned forward, her voice steady. "I've battled addiction to pills for years." Eleanor's throat tightened. Could she speak? The words lodged like shards. "I lost my job, pushed everyone away," Olivia continued with raw honesty. "I thought there was no way back for me, but then Jesus found me." She paused, her voice trembling. "He was there, waiting for me when I finally opened my heart." Eleanor's heart ached with recognition. "He offered forgiveness," Olivia's eyes shining. "Because I realized I wasn't beyond saving. There's no one God can't forgive while we're still breathing." Warmth crept into Eleanor's chest. Olivia's words stirred something deep within her, something long dormant. As the meeting drew to a close, Eleanor's breath hitched, her resolve swelling. Could she too surrender her secret? A gentle hand rested on her shoulder. She looked up to see Olivia's glowing face, reflecting both understanding and peace. "You're not alone," Olivia said softly. Leaving the church, the cool night air greeted Eleanor with a startling freshness. As she crossed Monroe Street, her gaze settled on a familiar figure beneath a flickering street lamp. Jez. Their eyes locked, an unspoken connection crackling between them. He smiled, that same gentle, knowing smile that had haunted her. In that moment, Eleanor felt a bloom of hope unfurling within her, daring her to believe she might find her way to the light, where her heart, heavy with guilt, could finally soar.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. You can read the entire book available on Amazon. Get more content by visiting dawnspiredigital.com. I'll see you next time. May God's peace be with you.